Hey guys, this is ChillQuest. How's your day going? We're here with Hilda, getting ready as always for what's coming up. Our only T2 dungeon we haven't tried yet. This time we're facing vampires and demons in the Chapel of the Guiding Star. We've already seen how we incorporated our impulse and how it worked well with our build, reducing resistances and being useful at the right moments. Of course, as we add new abilities, things might change. For now, we're going to start adding our arcane mobility and utility power. We'll begin with Dimensional Shift, which will help us reposition when needed and also put enemies in vulnerable positions. As we know, these guys heal a lot when they hit, and they buff themselves with lifesteal abilities at mid-range. Then they try to engage you in close combat, where they can take full advantage of that sustain. Our strategy will be to avoid trading damage at close range when they have those buffs active, and instead take them down quickly using the spear's reach, before they get the chance to heal too much. But of course, when there are multiple enemies at once and we need to manage the fight carefully, sometimes we won't be able to handle everything perfectly, and the battles might last a bit longer. Let's see how we handle it with Hilda, and whether we can keep control without losing the pace. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're not subscribed yet, this might be the perfect chance to join the ChillQuest community. That said, let's keep the good fight going. An intense yet very fun battle. I really like the synergy I'm building with my abilities. While we don't have the raw damage of a pure spear build, we've got a lot of versatility, crowd control, and damage that comes very close to those builds. I'd even say that at this level, the damage might be slightly higher if we add the ranged attacks and the progressive damage from impulse when its knockback effect triggers. Managed to use Dimensional Shift there then. Reposition and find a better angle for more precise strikes, taking advantage of the lowered resistances thanks to Electromancy. When there are only a few enemies, they're hardly a problem for Hilda's electric spear. I honestly can't wait to see how the upgraded version of Hilda turns out. This is looking really promising, guys. I'm really enjoying skewering enemies with the spear. It's such a satisfying feeling every time we take them down with precision. The spear mechanic on its own is already really well implemented, and with the latest patch it got even better. Adding to that the ChillQuest experiments, we start seeing a lot more tools that create strong synergy between each other. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but for me, making magic work together with a specific weapon without focusing only on raw damage, and seeing that it all comes together nicely is really rewarding. We're about to reach level 10, only one level left to go. Once we gather a bit more gold and take a trip to Bryn, we could probably start thinking about facing the ancient troll from the special Manshur quest, don't you think? I feel like we could take him on now, using the spear's range to keep our distance and control the fight. What do you guys think? Should we give it a shot with Hilda? It looks like the boss is in this room. We'll take advantage of our range to use Electromancy and wear the enemy down slowly. This boss is dangerous, especially once it starts stacking bleed on us. It's similar to the dagger skill line. The more bleed it stacks, the more damage it deals and the weaker we become. So we'll have to avoid that at all costs. On top of that, it's pretty tough and has high resistances, but I think we can handle it. The plan is to kite, keep our distance, and deal as much damage as possible before getting caught in close combat. Nice. We managed to handle that pretty well. But notice how the trouble started with the bleed. A single enemy, not even the boss, kept us in combat, not letting us heal or remove the bleed that the boss had inflicted. And that took a good chunk of our health. But hey, we leveled up, so we'll continue investing in willpower. And as for the new skill, I still need to think about where to spend it. I'm not entirely sure yet, so let's wait a bit while we finish the dungeon. Loot everything and go for the reward. Still, I feel like there's one more worthy fight left before we can say the dungeon is cleared, so let's go for it! I've been thinking about saving my points for when we reach level 10, so that once we unlock new abilities, I can learn 2 at once. The level 10 skills are quite important, and I've got several lined up. One in athletics, another in magic mastery, and in spear there are 2, maybe 3, although I think I'll save one of them for later. I also need to strengthen my arcane kit, so there are a lot of things to learn to properly complete the build. For now, I think I'll wait until we level up, guys. Unless something changes my mind. For some reason, this last enemy is a lot tougher for me. It might be because he regenerates a lot of health with his skill, and since I'm low on energy, I probably can't deal enough damage to stop him from healing so much. That's likely the issue. It's something to keep in mind for the future, so we can plan the fight around it, making sure to manage our energy and control the pace to keep him from regenerating too much. Perfect. We're almost there, guys. We just need to take down a few more enemies, loot, and then we'll probably go for the last available contract in Manshur. Before that, I'll need to take care of some business. Maybe upgrade something at the camp, and overall get everything ready for the next challenge. We'll see what can be done and how to make the most out of our resources. Let's go claim the reward at the winery to get more reputation for Bryn, and then head over to Manshur. We'll buy some consumables and move on to our next contract, Raven Hill, now with important skill upgrades. I'm going to try getting more into the middle of the enemies to see how the build performs in closer fights. Hopefully, we won't fall in the attempt, but you know, the gods are always on Hilda's side. Alright guys, upon entering the dungeon, I realized that thanks to choosing our stats wisely, we've unlocked one of our key skills available at level 9, so let's test it out. We'll see if I have enough energy to use it, or if I'll actually need athletics to make it work better. But for now, let's give it a try. Once activated, this skill not only boosts our damage and gives us a chance to apply bleed, but it also lets us, for 2 turns, strike back at every enemy that gets close to us. On top of that, we'll regain energy based on our willpower, which should synergize nicely with our hybrid build. So let's see if we can test it out again and find out how well it performs in battle. Remember when I said I wanted to get more into the middle of the fight? Well, I didn't mean this much, but here we are, risking everything to take down that dark mage. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it, and honestly, I don't want to waste a smoke bomb here. So let's leave it to the gods of Hilda. Let's stay focused and try to position ourselves properly against all these enemies that have us surrounded and keep spawning. This is about to get intense, guys. Wow! What a battle for this stage of the game. Impulse once again turned an impossible fight into a victory, and Dimensional Shift allowed us to reposition safely and choose which enemies to face. I can't believe how well everything went after such a risky move. Hilda is in her best form so far. We also tested determination once during this fight, landing 3 almost free hits and recovering a solid amount of energy. We barely noticed it because everything else happening was so intense. Now that we've unlocked this new skill, I can't help but think of some ideas based on the troll's mechanics. I imagine you guys did too, and for those who didn't, I'll soon show you what I have in mind and test if it works the way I expect. I have really high expectations for this build against the troll. As the fight went on and more enemies fell, I started wondering, could this actually be the boss room? And right then, it appeared, taking advantage of the situation. Even though we got rid of several enemies and some others ran away, I'm not sure this is the best position for us. And this boss hits hard from a distance. Let's see what happens. For this kind of enemy, dimensional shift is absolutely essential. As long as they're within our range, it makes everything much easier, especially since we're not using the athletics dash. Another beautifully executed fight by Hilda. There can't be much left in this dungeon, but this chapter really surprised me with how well the build is coming together. I'm starting to understand its rhythm more and more. Now it's time to loot everything and get ready for the journey. We'll do some trading first, because not everything in Stoneshard is about battles and magic. Managing travels and commerce is also part of the strategy to upgrade faster. So let's finish up here, collect our reward, and make a few smart moves in Bryn before returning better prepared for the troll. What we're going to do now is travel to the winery with the goal of buying its tradable wines. Because according to my research, if we sell them at the Bryn Tavern, we'll make a lot of gold in return. If you often struggle with gold, or always have just enough but find it hard to upgrade your camp and equipment at the same time, I recommend this method. It's very efficient. Believe me, from Manshire to Bryn, you'll have to make that trip at least 2 or 3 times anyway, or it'll be right along your route, so take advantage of it and pay attention to how much it helps you. Once we reach Bryn, we'll do the usual. Exchange old coins, sell jewels, and make some extra trades. But this time, the new part will be selling the wines at the tavern. You'll notice the profit right away, and it's definitely worth doing. There are also many other similar items that can be traded between cities. You just have to figure out who sells them and who buys them for a good price. Obviously, these trades usually require some traveling between towns, but since traveling is part of the game anyway, it's all about taking the opportunity to invest and sell where it's more profitable. Once everything is done, we'll head back to Manshire, have a warm meal at the tavern, and start preparing for our next objective, the Troll. Let's accept the quest and buy everything we need, because in our next episode, we'll probably see the Troll fall, or maybe not. Hilda and her spear will be the ones to decide.